So the best thing to do with these big fish is to get them in real fast, and you don't need to handle them out of the water at all. Get the fly out. You take your pick, take a good look at that fish. Say 23, 22, 23. And then let them go. Hold them in the water. You want to cradle the fish until, I'll hold them lightly by the tail and then right under the belly. And you just want to hold them in place until they're ready to go. If you notice the fish is tired and is kind of wobbling, you want to just stay steady until it swims off on its own. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Fly Fishing Academy. That was just a quick introduction to proper catch and release, and we're gonna go more in depth into catch and release. But first, what I want to do is just kind of recap what we've covered so far in the Fly Fishing Academy. So if you've caught every episode, we've basically covered all the gear you're gonna be using in fly fishing, right? We went over what it is, we talked about how much it costs, and we talked about its purpose. The next topic I want to cover is rigging. And this is going to be a whole nother module. So you notice as I was going through the first, I think it was 10 videos so far I posted for the Fly Fishing Academy, I keep telling you module 1. Well, module 1 is what I consider to be the gear module. That's all the stuff you need to go fly fish. In module 2, I broke that down into into rigging. So we're going to go over knots, we're going to go over connections and all that stuff. So that's module 2. But to break up the content, what I thought I would do is show you some fish. So I wanted to talk about catch and release. Most of you are already fishing. You're already out there doing your thing. And so I thought that would be a good topic to go over before we get into the rigging module. And hey, if you're really enjoying this content, the Fly Fishing Academy content, any of the short films that I'm putting out or any of the hunting content I put out, please like these videos. Please subscribe to my channel. It really does help a lot to grow the channel and to also motivate me to keep making content. And hey, if you really like it, share it with a friend. Okay, so here are the core things you want to remember when it comes to catch and release. First of all, fish can't breathe out of water. So you really want to limit the amount of time the fish is out of water. Second, if you're going to be taking pictures, don't lift the fish out of the net or the water until your camera operator is ready to snap the picture. Don't squeeze the fish's body or head. This could damage the organs and kill the fish. Make sure you're holding the fish upright and facing upstream if you're fishing a river. This allows oxygenated water to properly enter the fish's gills. And the final thing, the fifth thing, is don't let the fish go until it swims off on its own strength. So I want to look at a few clips to help drive some of these techniques home. So let's check out the first clip. First of all, who doesn't want a picture with a nice fish like this, right? To do that properly, you want to make sure that the fish is going to be comfortable and in the water the vast majority of the time that you're handling it. I lift the fish, you can see water coming off of the fish, so you know it was in the net and submerged. Now he's telling me I'm uncomfortable, I put him right back in the net. One more time, he's in the net, I gently lift him up. Look at my left hand, not squeezing the heck out of this fish. My right hand's cradling it right under its belly, and I give it a drink when it asks for a drink. That leads me to a good point. Keep the fish in the net, submerged underwater until you are ready to take your picture. There's no need to be handling the fish out of water until you are absolutely ready, your camera operator's ready to get the image that you need. So use a net with a rubber bag like this. The fish will stay nice and comfortable and relaxed. A lot of times they'll even calm down, which makes taking pictures a lot easier. Here's a catch and release example from the lake. You see the fish was submerged in the net underwater. I lift him up. Remember, this is slow motion, so things are going a little bit slower. But even then, you see the fish wasn't out of water very long at all. I'm allowing the fish to breathe and recover. I'm holding him. This is a male, big male. I'm holding the tail with my left hand, cradling the belly with my right. I'm not squeezing the fish. You do not want to squeeze these fish if you want them to live. Getting my picture, right? And when the fish is ready to go, ready to be released, he swims off under his own strength. Let's watch that again in real time so you can see how much time I had that fish out of water. Okay, watch how fast this all happens. Pull the fish out, quick picture. Fish is back in the water recovering. Lift him out of the water again for a nice picture. Just a few seconds, nothing too long. The fish is nice and relaxed, swims off under its own strength. Here's a great release example from my good friend Nick Trout, owner of Trout's Fly Shop. Lifts the fish out of the water. Again, this is slow motion. I'll show you in real time after. Lifts the fish out of the water, gets his picture, facing the big cut boat upstream to allow oxygenated water to flow into the fish's gills, and the fish swims off under its own strength. And of course, Nick throws the celebratory arms up. Let's watch that one more time. I want to drive home some other things. Notice Nick is cradling this fish with his left hand very gently. He's not squeezing the fish, holding the tail with his right, keeping the fish horizontal to the water. He's not dipping the fish's nose or tail one way or the other. The fish is level with the water. He's now allowing water to flow into the fish's gills, and when the fish is ready, it swims off under his own strength. Let's watch that again in real time so you can see how quick that all took place. Yeah. Lifts the fish out of the water for a few seconds, gets his picture, and the fish is ready to swim off under its own strength. Super fast. Good catch and release. Yeah. Here's a good small stream example with a smaller fish. See, the water is flowing from screen right to screen left, so land is facing that fish into the current. Current is passing through the gills, rejuvenating the fish, reviving the fish, and the brown swims off under its own strength when it's ready to go. Let me show you in real time so you can see how fast that was. Not very long at all. Face the fish upstream, cradling it gently, swims off under its own strength. Here's another small stream example, nice Rio Grande cutthroat. I'm facing this fish upstream, letting water go through the gills, oxygenated water, move through the gills so this fish can recover. I get my picture right back into the water, and when this fish is ready, it'll take off under its own strength. See that? That's good. Good catch and release. Watch in real time. This happens really fast. Face the fish upstream, out of water for a good picture. After a few seconds, right back in, the fish takes off. Here's an example from a lake. Holding the fish with my right hand, cradling it very gently. I'm not squeezing the fish. Pick it up for a quick picture. She wasn't having it. Nice female rainbow here. Takes off really fast under her own strength. Here's that same release in real time. Happens super fast. Here's Nick again with a nice cut bow, different cut bow, allowing this fish to recover, allowing water to flow through the gills, cradling it very gently. You notice he's not squeezing this fish, just cradling it, keeping it level with the water. She swims off under her own strength. Here's another good example from a lake, a huge female rainbow trout. She was very top heavy, so I had to try to keep her level, horizontal with the water. You don't want fish tipping towards the head or towards the tail or side to side, because there's a chance that if they take off, they're gonna go belly up and they will die. So make sure they're horizontal with the water, they're level with the water, and they swim off under their own strength. Let's look at that in real time. Get my picture. She's out of the water for 5-6 seconds. And when she's ready, she swims off under her own strength. With this example, I just want to drive home where I'm releasing this trout. See, I'm not releasing this trout into the white water. A lot of times the fish are really tired. They're just gonna go belly up if you release them directly in the fastest water in the river. I'm releasing this fish in pocket water that's still flowing, allowing oxygenated water to move through the gills, but water that's gonna allow the fish to recover before it takes off. Here's one last example of Nick, nice brown trout on the Rio Grande. Lifts the brown out of the net, gets his picture, keeping the fish horizontal, cradling the fish gently with the left hand, the belly, holding the tail with the right, allowing the fish to swim off under its own strength as soon as it's ready. Let's watch that in real time. This happens really quick. Get the picture. Fish is out of water, very minimal amount of time, swims away under its own strength. So I can assure you, if you use these techniques when you plan to release a trout, you're giving it a much better chance at surviving long after it's come into contact with you. So in the very next episode, we're gonna jump into an entirely new module in the Fly Fishing Academy, which is rigging. I'm gonna show you all the main knots. So everyone uses different knots. I'm gonna show you some of the most tried and true knots that we use in fly fishing And I'm also going to show you how to make the connections between your backing and your fly line and your leader and tippet and flies. I'm going to show you all that stuff in detail. So be sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next week when we get into the rigging module. Take care.